Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Hi everyone. How are you guys doing? It's wonderful to be here. Very excited. I can see a number of comments in here, a number of greetings in here. Mr. Charles Olu, I can see you. Good evening. Mr. Enyo Luronda Oluwatoyi, I can see you. Good evening. Mr. Jonathan Oguna, Mr. Churchill, Levinos, quite a number of people in the background here. A very good evening to you from this side to your side, wherever it is that you are listening to us from. So I'm very excited to welcome you to this fourth episode of the Traders Hangout. And the Traders Hangout is just a platform where people who trade the financial markets can basically just come together and exchange, glean off of the experiences of others, take a couple of tips, and just generally hang out. It's an initiative that Swab the Markets has come up with in order to be able to help provide information in such a way that you know, it's not too official, if you like, not like a generally structured training. Okay, so we are just getting ready. I want to hear. I want responses about where it is that you're reaching us from. Just see, hello, hello, reaching you from wherever it is you are. I'd like to see those comments so we can put it up. I want to know what our just sort of geographical spread is right now, on this. So you can just put a comment there and say, I am reaching you from wherever it is you are reaching us from at this point. Okay. All right. I can see Mr. Christopher says good evening. Good evening to you. I trust you're having a good evening. Mr. Levinos, good evening. Mr. Chukwemeka, good evening. Mr. Conrad is going to be joining us very shortly, and we'll have an amazing session, I can guarantee you. Good evening to you. So somebody's saying, Elijah Felix is saying, welcome, Conrad Okongwu, Professor of Financial Trading and Trade Up Excellence. All right, Mr. Felix says, my hairstyle is like that of an African royal prince. A little bit of an experiment there. I'm glad that you guys find it interesting as well. Okay, so Mr. Enio Lawyer, you're reaching us from Akure, somebody from Port Harcourt. Mr. Churchill reaching us from River State. Hello. Mr. Ipedu, right? Reaching from Delta State. So quite a sort of very varied spread of people is what we have here right now from sort of different places. Miss Doris, I can see you're reaching us from Port Harcourt. So I want to know, first of all, whilst Mr. Conrad gets sort of waiting to join this meeting, I want to know sort of like the spread of people. If you know you're a trader, you can put up a comment and say, I'm a trader. If you're a trader, I just want to have a sense of sort of like the trader the number of people who are traders in here, who are existing traders. And if you are new, you can also put up a comment and say, oh, I'm new, I've not traded before. Okay, this is supposed to be a traders hangout where like we sort of hang out and exchange ideas. Okay, so okay. So we have a very interesting sort of we will have a very interesting conversation. We'll touch on trading, and hopefully somewhere along this conversation, we should talk about the recent directive of the Central Bank of Nigeria as it affects traders and some of those things. A lot of people within the trading community said with the banning of crypto, sort of like of banks who interface with crypto people, how is that going to affect trading and how is that going to affect us? Okay, so I want you guys to understand how to use this particular sort of session. You see a comment box wherever it is you're listening. You can put up a comment there. On the sort of admin side, you'll be able to put up that comment. Oh, what's going on with our electricity? Okay, well, that's typical of us here. I'm not quite sure what the reason is, but Mr. James says he loves my new look. I'm experimenting. Thank you, by the way. Okay, so yes, so like I said, somebody says I'm a trader. I've been trading for many years. I'm new. Okay, okay. So trading basically, a lot of people know is exciting. It's very exciting. I mean, as exciting as it is, it has that sort of adrenaline rush when you're trying to take a trade, trying to take an opportunity. When there's that, there's that, and how do I'm later on we'll discuss the different sort of aspects, the different sort of aspects of this. We'll be discussing, whilst we just try to get Muscarad in the background and get everyone else. But before we do that, let's take a very quick break. It's going to be like a minute thereabout break. So you can get your writing materials, collect your thoughts together, and let's get together, okay? We're going to break right now. We apologize. And okay, so we apologize for the delayed break. I'm glad that you're still here. I'm very excited to let you know that our guest today, Mr. Conrad, is here in the background. I can see him looking very sharp in the background, looking really sharp. And for those of you who don't know, Mr. Conrad has got um, he's trained over 30,000 people. If you've been watching our school, you see his very sort of elaborate profile covering universities in different parts of the world. He actually is calling in from the United States at the moment. And a lot of people who are here already know him. For those of you who don't know him, you're going to be reaching out to really a trader I not just admire for the work, but I also love him outside of even the job just because of the personality of who he is. Amazing, amazing friend and a brother, and who has also been an amazing coach to quite a lot of traders. So, without wasting too much time, I know we're really far gone. Please, it's my pleasure on behalf of the Swavely team and on behalf of the entire community to welcome Mr. Conrad.
All right.
Okay. Lovely to see you, Conrad. It's so
What's up?
beautiful to see you.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's my mic working properly. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you properly. We can
All
hear you
right.
properly.
I
So
was trying
so
to see.
excited. I'm not sure you've seen the new look. My God, I think this should be your first introduction to it. My new hairstyle. A number of our documented about it. I'm sure. Just
It
basically
it looks
experimented.
it looks it looks good on you though.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Very different, I'm sure. I'm
Yeah,
sure. So
yeah.
I've seen a lot of comments in here. First of all, I mean, it's such a huge pleasure to do this with you,
Thank
Conrad.
you.
I mean, such a
It's a
huge
pleasure.
pleasure. I know that I don't just speak for myself. I think I speak for the entire community. When you say, I mean, it's always wonderful to hear and to share with you about the financial markets. It's always wonderful. So guys, so guys, you can see your hellos. You've been saying hello before now. I mean, I've seen a number of comments. Let me just scroll a few of those comments, Conrad. So many people we've reached out to. So you listen to this comment right now. Welcome, Mr. Conrad Okongwu, Professor of Financial Trading and Trade Alpha Expert. This is coming from Elijah Felix. Mr. David, your hairstyle is like that of an African royal prince too. Thanks for that. So a number of comments, guys. You can keep those
Wow,
comments
wow,
coming
wow,
in.
wow, wow, wow.
So Ibido Chike saying good evening, boss Conrad, follow you around, sir. Wonderful. I'm sure you so many comments coming in, but won't be able to take everything.
Yeah,
Very,
sure.
very excited to have you, Conrad.
Good
Very
good
excited
to
to
be
have you.
I'm so excited to be here. And
Mm,
I've been following your hangouts.
mm.
Yeah, I know it is a privilege for me to be here and to also be a guest on this your wonderful traders hangout. I'm so excited. I just want to um know what I wish I could just see the comments, but it's okay. You
Okay.
can some of them are popping up. I just want to know
Yeah.
what are the expectations? I mean, what
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's a great question. I mean, to start with. So, guys, you can keep those comments coming in. You can always
Mm,
use the comment button right there. Just share
yeah.
what your expectations are. A Traders Hangout is just a platform for us to just share about this shared passion that we have. For those people who are just sort of new, into the financial markets who don't have a lot of experience, you can glean off of these conversations. Sometimes it's not always exciting to learn when it's exceedingly like structured, but when we
Yeah,
converse, when we sort of engage, there's always opportunity.
true.
So,
True.
guys, somebody's saying, Mr. Livinos, you're saying you're new to this. How can you learn? Okay. It's interesting that I know we'll have those kinds of comments, but the main thing is just get committed, and there are so many options. I will share some of those options as well along the line. But
Okay.
wonderful to have you here again, Conrad. Wonderful.
Thank you so very much. And I was actually running towards catching up. Not so I don't come in late, but I
Yeah.
I I hope we can still have a lot to this. I'm ready. I'm ready. So
Okay. So
it's been a
I think
wonderful time. Yeah. I
thank you
mean,
so
it's
much.
we're in a wonderful season of the world. So
Yeah,
I'm
indeed,
eager to.
indeed. So Mr. Erinya Yanga says, my expectation is to learn on strategy for this year and the general market
Market
outlook for
outlook.
yeah. So okay, interesting. So it's like basically straight to
Yeah, yeah. So I can
the
see.
market.
I have an idea of
Yeah,
the expectations. Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
that's good.
So that's another expectation here. Somebody is saying looking forward to eliminate trading mistakes and become
Mistakes become
more
more
professional.
professional.
I think it's interesting that he's mentioning mistakes. It means that
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
sense of recognition for that as a problem.
He realized it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. That's fine.
there's a sense of
Yeah,
recognition.
that's fine.
So, being from Lagos, quite a number of people here who are, So I think before going, let's just quickly touch on, you know, a few things about trading conversationally. Conrad, what would you say is the thing that you love most about trading? I mean, you've done all of these things within the financial markets. All of these people know you. I mean, we don't want to go into that very shiny. But what would you say, just conversationally, that you like most about trading? What would you say?
Wow. I think how would I say it? I think I was still having these discussions recently because
Okay.
someone was asking me, you graduated from electrical electronics engineering, and
Mm.
it was a very, Dave, you did engineering, so you know
Of
how,
course.
how
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know how those
Mhm.
dangerous mathematics and everything. So, and
Yeah.
then afterwards, just started to veer into trading. What exactly prompted you, and what has kept you?
Yeah.
So for me, it's more like I was looking at while I was in my engineering program. The reason why I got into engineering first of all was I wanted to be um, an innovator. I wanted to be someone who could create a product, who could create something and be able to bring those things out.
Mm.
And my own definition of value is when I can create something and people can pay for that thing, or people want that thing. That's my own definition. So when I left engineering program, I saw that, look, this part is not going to take me to what I want to do. I love the program, the electrical electronics, but then this is what I want to do is to be able to be independent in a way that I can create things myself. It took me years to be able to get to that also. So I said, what industry would help me to achieve this? So I looked at a whole lot and I said, wow, financial market. Oh, that's great. So apart from money is also one, but money has never been the reason for me to be in this industry.
Okay.
Because if money had been my sole reason for being in the industry, I mean, there are certain things I would have been doing right now.
Mm.
So it's not essentially money for me. It's a place where I'm most expressive, where I feel that I could contribute practically to people's life, and I could see the change instantly. So if I'm gonna like say train some group of students, for
Mm.
example, I've been privileged to tutor over 30,000 students all over the world. I've been in a particular event in Lagos, in I think it was in somewhere in Nigeria, in Ogun State, and I
Mm.
was speaking to 2,500 people. It was like a stadium, and And I was wondering, it was 10 minutes, no laptop, no nothing, just talk to them about forex trading. So
Mm,
this industry has given me what I wanted, and this is exactly why I came into it. So for me, as a trader, I want freedom, and that is what I get. I keep telling my students, I say, there are some things we can't tell non-traders. It's like an esoteric knowledge. It's like a fraternity. Sorry, I'm using that word, but it's like a fraternity in here. We can't tell even when your wife is not a forex trader. If your wife
mm,
is not a forex trader and you are a forex trader, some things are difficult for you to even tell her. And for example, what are these things? Like the amount of money you made, like the amount of money you lost. They
mm,
won't understand any of this. So it is always best for you to so this is why I think trading is kind of an area that is reserved for just a very minute set of people who have decided that this is what they want to do. So it's not something we can popularize, and that's why I love it. It's just something that, okay, it is only for those who are traders. For example, like this hangout now, we're
mm.
talking to traders. So
Yeah.
so that's exactly I mean, for me, that is why I think I'm still in the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Conrad. So one of the things that you mentioned that holds, that sort of stands out is when you talk about things like being able to create and freedom, which I think any person who's a trader understands probably is the most compelling thing about trading.
Yeah.
Currently, you're in a different country, in a different climate from what you've traditionally been in, and you have all of this, you're still able to practice what you do. You mentioned freedom, you mentioned the ability to, I interpret it as that ability to just be able to express life in your own terms,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So
True. You
let's see if we
know,
can take
y- um, you know, the trading itself, it's not an end. One day I asked a group of students, I said, why do you want to learn how to trade? And then they said, we want money. And I said, money is not an end. I mean, why do you need money? If you don't have the why, you won't even probably get the money.
true.
You can get the money from different means. So why trading? And I keep giving this illustration. I say, if you look at the footballers will watch every time.
Mm,
If you stop paying some of them today, they will still be playing football. So they are not essentially they didn't get into that stage they are with the
mm,
love of money. They got into it with the love of the game. So you have
mm.
to get to that point. So if you don't get to that point, Dave, I think it's going to be difficult for anyone to be able to even
Succeed.
get to the level where the money
To
comes in
succeed.
like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like, let me read this comment and let me just use this comment to sort of highlight some of the other comments that have been coming through. This is good evening. I'm expecting to get more insight into forex trading. I know Mr. Conrad can read my expectation. I've been following you guys for days of FX time. Okay, so one of the recurrent questions is most people want to, get insights on how to trade successfully. Maybe the motives might differ. Some motives might be more conservative than others, but
Okay.
there's that central thing in there that and a lot of traders quest for trading insights. What they really mean is trading strategies that are most effective. In the quest for these trading strategies, a lot of traders go and they do a whole lot. They experiment, they get information from all sources. Of course, in the quest to to trade successfully towards money making. Now, my question really is that, do you think that traders are approaching the approaching, asking the right questions when it comes to what they should be sort of focusing on, vis-a-vis so many traders focusing on one thing. I mean, I see a lot of comments. I'm sure if you really ask a lot of traders here, they want to know what your trading strategy is, what particular tools you use, what what is the win ratio, so that of course, I mean, I don't know. My question is, anyways,
I
and
know,
I
I
have
know, I know, I know your question. Like I get this question, Dave, every time. I get it every time in programs. I mean, I've been tutoring, trading, teaching traders for the past almost like 8 years or more now, and this is something I hear every time. And haven't looked at several trading strategies myself. Haven't looked at different trading strategies. And now, right now, I'm fully into the algo trading space. And that also gives me the opportunity to be able to do so much research and optimization of thousands of strategies at the same time. So one thing I've found out, which I was observing during my manual trading and research phase, one thing I've found out is that virtually every strategy can make you money.
can make money.
I Yeah, every strategy has the potential of making you money. And when I say this in my class, my student will go like, and then we'll pick the simplest strategy. We'll pick any strategy. Like I'll tell them, okay, for example, you give me a strategy that has lost you money. I did that in one of the classes. Give me a strategy that has lost money. And then he said, okay, this is a strategy. And he showed us in the class. I said, okay. He said, this strategy will lose you money. I said, true. And then we ran it. It lost money for 1 year. I said, okay, fine. Guys, look at this. And then I changed something. I tweaked something there. I told them what I did. I just tweaked something, just the function of increasing the stake profit or increasing the stop loss or something. I just tweaked something. And then we ran the strategy again, and then it was super profitable. They were like, wow, what happened? And I told them this. I said, all the indicators you've learned on the MetaTrader 4, all of them, one in every two strategies out there would give you a very good profit. But the problem is not the strategy. The problem is not the indicator. The problem is not always that strategy. Even the perfect strategies, the best strategies, like my most popular strategy is riding the trend strategy. It's popular because I did it when I was with FSTM, and then they popularized it. I mean, put it on YouTube and everywhere, and that's what people who got in contact with me the first time. Most times, it was from that strategy. And what was it? What was the strategy? It's just two moving averages, which is common. Moving average crossover. It's the most. The first time you're hearing about forex, that's the first strategy you get to hear, and that strategy has produced enormous profits for people using it. And the first time I did that strategy, I did a webinar. People were asking me, is this simple trading strategy? And I said, I chose this strategy for a purpose, to let you understand that it is not in the complexity of the strategy. Trading is far beyond the complexity of the strategy. It is understanding the whole component of that strategy. In other words, if I tell you click here, buy, click here, sell, that is not going to ensure success for you. You can follow that strategy for so long, but you'll get into a bumpy road, and then you feel, why is strategy not making money for me? So I always tell traders, rather than asking the question of what strategy should I use, teach me the strategy, break down the component of a strategy. When you look at the strategy, break it down. There's the part of the strategy that tells you the trend, how to identify the buyers of the market. There's a part of the strategy that tells you the entry, and there's a part of the strategy that tells you the exit, and then there's a part of the strategy that tells you the ratio of the targeted profit to the ratio of the expected loss. There are 4 or 5 components in a strategy. Now, do you know that the first one I mentioned, which is the bias of the market, do you know the market doesn't have the same biases? And having known that, that means that your strategy will not definitely work in all the biases. You get what I'm saying? So when you look at strategies this way, you would not think there's one strategy that fits all. So there's a strategy you use in the trendy phase of the market, and it doesn't work again when it gets into a consolidated part of the market. So this is not for me the best questions people should be asking.
People should be asking.
Uh,
So,
yeah, it's not.
right. So in very expansive information, many things. So in moving away from that question not being the best question, you know, which I mean was expressly identified when you shared that different strategies that are unprofitable for individuals. When you took a couple of things in those strategies, all of a sudden you start to watch the performances improve. You
Yeah.
know, so what then do you think the right questions that traders should be asking? If it's not a strategy question, are you are you with me? If it's not a strategy question,
Yeah.
then what question is it that makes, and you know the statistics, quite a lot of traders, people who attempt trading actually don't get successful. So if we're saying that, okay, that strategy, that indicator, literally everyone, if you took it right, should be able to give you some kind of profit. Why then are so many people? I'm asking this question because I'm sure that that's what a lot of people out there want to ask. So I'm just sort of helping them. Why then, if it's so simple, some people, I'm sure, would want to say that I've tried so many of those strategies. I tried, I see a lot of strategies. Some folks say 20 people per day strategy, 30 people per day strategy, 1% per day, And of course, there's so much content about those different strategies when you go on YouTube and, just check so much content out there. If that's not the right question, please, Mr. Conrad, what would you say the right question would be?
Oh wow, how am I gonna put it now? You know, maybe I should share a little story of my journey, because I remember I started trading in 2000. I started trading in 2008. That was when I started trading, 2007, 2008 thereabout, and for 5 years straight up, I think it was 20, 2008, 9, 10, 11 thereabout. I was just grooming. I was just moving in the dark. I would what most traders are going through right now was what I went through that period. I would learn a strategy today. It seems to work for a while, and after a while, it doesn't work any longer. I would look for another seminar, attend, learn a strategy. It works for a while. It doesn't work again. This was my journey for so long. Do you know what changed my? At the point? Do you know I at the point, and I see some traders making that decision now. I mean, people have told me I gave up. At the point, I was, it was a tiny line, Dave, was a tiny line for me from
To give
falling,
up.
from giving up. It was tiny. It was so tiny. I felt like I'm at the verge of giving up. Like the slightest tiny thing. It was
Mm.
so small. That was in 2011. I remember I was in Enugu. I went for something, a program, and then I just stood like I said, why would I be losing so much? I was almost frustrated.
Mm.
So you know what happened? I I stopped trading. I stopped trading for like almost like 5 months. And I told myself, now I'm entering into a new phase. And that new phase is what they call a learning phase. And I'm not just going to learn strategy. I'm going to learn why strategies fail. So I switched my focus from learning successful strategies to kind of learning what is the failure rate of a strategy. It changed. So I was not expecting a strategy to give me 100% success rate any longer. I was expecting to see a strategy that gives me 70% success rate, and I still want to be successful with that. So I switched focus. So I wasn't looking for. So I started combing training programs. I told my students, I challenge you, look for any training program online that I've not attended. Any training program, I'll give you an email of when I signed in for the course. Any training program online. I can mention all their names. I paid for all of them, attended all the training programs. But while I was attending these training programs, my mind wasn't going towards, strategy. I was actually learning until I came across one program by, I think it was Chris Capri or something like that. And then the guy was talking about statistics. So that clicked something in me. And I said, oh, success rates. So I started learning things like success rate of strategies and all that. And I saw that a strategy doesn't need to have 100% success rate for me to make money, for me to be profitable. In fact, I don't even need a strategy to have 100% success rate. I don't even need it. So I then decided to delve into the research aspect of trading. So I was now going into researching strategies that will give me a success rate that is sufficient for me, enough for me to be profitable. So now, whether you have 50% success rate strategy, 60% success rate, 40%, even 30%, it doesn't matter. That strategy can make you so much profit and leave you in profit. So for me, I would say the right questions they should go for is, how can I learn the skills, the various skills over the years I've been able to because you know what trading is doing for me. Trading is making me pioneer things. I'm pioneering things because I've come training programs. I didn't see these things. I didn't see where they're able to categorize exact skill that I need to succeed as a trader. So I'm doing that from my own experience. Now I discovered that a trader needs to have ability to research. If you are not interested in learning how to research, you have no business in trading. And that is one part most traders don't like to hear. The trader must have skill in researching. You have to be able to research, optimize strategies, backtesting, and all that. A trader must have a skill in market analysis. So these are the skills traders should go for. Skills to improve their research, skills to improve their market analysis, and one more, skills to improve their technical analysis. Because you can decide to use technical analysis. Right now, I don't use technical analysis as much. I use more of mathematical concepts, so algorithmic stuff. So technical analysis, if you want to go further, you can do quantitative analysis. That's a little higher. Fundamental analysis, those are another area of thought. But you have to learn one of these analyses. You have to use one, but I think technical analysis is the easiest to learn. So these three skills they should go for skills. Traders should go for skills. Those skills will go a long way to help them. They would develop strategies. Right now in our training programs that we do most times, it's the students are able to take the strategies that we gave them, tweak it, research that tweaking, produce a result with it, and submit it. And so we are contributing strategies every time. And what is helping them to do that is because they can research now. They have the ability to research. So some of them came to me with, what are the number strategies that you are going to teach us? 5 strategies, 6 strategies. That is what we use in getting them in, because that's what traders want to hear, strategies. But once they get in, I let them understand, look, it's beyond this strategy. These strategies might be 5, but you can come out with 50 from them by the variations of the strategy. And what will make you to be able to do that is research. So they should go for ask questions on, how can I improve my ability to analyze the market? How can I improve my ability in technical analysis? How can I improve my ability in research? Those 3 will really help them rather than just going to strategies and offshoots. Strategy is like a product of detailed market analysis, of judicious research, and of comprehensive knowledge in technical analysis. You get what I'm trying to say?
Very interesting. So we're having quite a number of feedbacks here. So I'm going to take this sort of feedback from Mr. Charles Odo. He says a lot of us came into the market firstly because of money, not passion, but in the long run, we got our fingers burnt. Some have given up on the market, but some have developed the passion. Please help us. So I think he's just reiterating what you said. Traders asking the wrong questions, traders getting burnt. You shared your experience about almost giving up. So Mr. Erin Yanga Jumbo said, so how do you do a research? So I'm sure that you would like to begin to get the tips on what to do from now on. But maybe in a nutshell, without going into the specific technical details of a proper research, maybe we can just talk if on a few things. One of the things I could get from your what you shared, and also from personal experiences, that so many traders don't sort of gather enough sample data about a particular trading strategy. So
exactly,
a lot of traders, they get very emotional with it. So for instance, you place a trader, you place 10 trades, and it so happens that due to poor risk management, one particular trade gobs off a lot of the sort of growth. And this is a reality that so many traders out there can relate to. Whenever they get really burnt, it's usually that one trade. It's not even about like a series of trades. It's usually that one or two trades that have such dangerous effect on the account, to the point that
and that should not be so. I often tell traders that if one trade or few trades can destroy your account, you have no business trading. If one trade can, first of all, this is why I say, if one trade can make you, that word in Nigeria, they say you don't blow, you don't blow, you don't blow or you don't hammer. If one trade can make you hammer, or if one trade can make you lose your account, you are not a trader. If there's one single trade that makes you blow, you say, I don't blow. A couple of trades, and then or there's a few number of trades that make you lose your account. If those two things occur, you are not a trader. You don't really know it. You should just understand that you have a lucky break, or that was fluke. You get
Thanks for that information. So let's talk a little bit about just general ideas of strategies. Now, of course, there are tons of strategies. They have different sort of styles and all of that. But one thing that is widely celebrated in the market is that it is said that the trend is your friend. Always look for trend trading strategies. And so many traders like to trade, like to identify, like to kind of identify the trend and something like that. One of the challenges that a lot of traders bring to the fore, as an example, is the fact that since technical analysis is based on price data, and that data changes as a function of the time frame that you're looking at. We understand that uptrends are, for instance, higher highs and higher lows, and downtrends lower highs and lower lows. But how come when I switch the chart from the daily to the 1 hour, it produces a totally different trend on its own? So you have a number of questions like that. I see a lot of traders who come through our group. So which one now is the uptrend? So which one now?
Which one is the okay? Which one should we follow? Should we use this H1 chart? Should we use the M30? Should we use the
one
daily
particular
chart
to the other, and all of that? So I mean, I don't know if you just could drop a line or two. Of course, it's a lot of what we are talking about is not just one-liners. It's something that might require properly set up sessions. And I'm going to give you the opportunity to share later about some of the sessions that you have set up. But ultimately, the big interesting thing is that overcoming that kind of challenge in technical analysis is usually a big a sort of a positive thing for traders. So I don't know if you've got anything to say about, traders who have challenges like that. Maybe how they should, because this goes to speak to market analysis that you mentioned. One of which you mentioned is technical analysis, correctly so. So I'm not
Now,
sure if that.
what I have to say to that is that you see, uh, how do I put it now? Technical analysis is like it's like your methodology or your school of thought, your beliefs. In fact, before technical analysis, I heard there was or probably they still have it. I don't forgotten what they call them. They use the this might be funny. They use the stars. They use um
Okay. Astrology.
astrology to predict the markets. You
Okay.
know, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work. These are just heuristics. They are like method school of thought.
Hmm.
Okay, now we have to understand that approaching the market has different school of thoughts. All right. Now, school of thoughts that I'm talking about here is like what gives you the impression that the market is going to do certain thing. What gives you? How do you adjudge? I mean, the value of or the direction of this market. That is the school of thought. And there are a lot of them. There are a number of them. We have the technical analysis, we have the fundamental, like I've mentioned, we have the quantitative analysis, we have different types. Then we have the fundamental analysis now depends if you're talking about stocks, then you look at the core the books of the company. If you're talking about the currency, then you're talking about the macro and macro policies and all. So these different people have gone into different these schools, but these are just the school of thoughts. When we come out from these schools, then we'll now have to learn, all of us will now have to learn other skills that I've mentioned, like analysis, like research, and the rest, like risk management. These are all skills that we have to learn. Risk management is a skill too. I forgot to mention that. So I think that traders are not properly schooled. Traders are not properly schooled in or maybe the questions that the traders are asking is what bringing about the answers they are getting. They're not
Yeah.
properly schooled in what is necessary, what are the necessary things for them to be able to make decisions. Like you talked about market analysis, talking about trend and all that. Which trend should we follow? Should we use M1 trend? Should we use M30 trend? Should we use the short time frame? Should we use the intermediate time frame? Should we do the long time frame? When they throw me that question, when my students throw me this question, what I used to ask them, those of them that are Nigerians, I say, or Ghanaians, I say, have you looked at Nigerian Naira stroke dollar chart before? They say yes, they've looked at the chart. I said, okay, what trend is that chart? They say it depends. If we're looking at it from a bigger scope, it's an uptrend. Dollar has been going up in an uptrend against Naira for several years. For much as far back as I've known Naira, dollar has been dollar has been going higher. So I asked them that, what is the trend? That's the question. They say, yeah, but if you look at the smaller, what's happening between the year to year, there are sometimes that is downtrend, is intermediate. I said, okay, the question is, where is the flow of money? Where has been the flow of money? So trend itself, trend itself is how do I put it? It's like how do I it's the primary direction, the essential direction. If you have gone to the beach before to look at the ocean wave, how it flows, it goes if you start let's say this is you facing the ocean, the water comes to you like the beach, the water flows to you, and then the water flows away from you, the water flows to you and flows away from you. giving you two directions, right? But to know the trend, if you tell me the trend is that it's flowing towards me in a short term, then in long term it flows into the ocean. You have not answered my question. My question is, what is the trend of this ocean? To know the trend, for us to solve our arguments, let us carry one person, either you or two of us, one of us. Let's throw that person inside the ocean. Then we'll check time. In the next 5 hours, wherever that person is the trend. And I bet you see that person inside in the midst of the ocean. So that clears the answer. So trend itself is not a stroke. It's not a swing. There's a difference between swing and trend. So when people say, I mean trend, most times they refer to swing. When the market just goes in one direction like this, that is a swing. But it goes up, it comes down, and then it goes further. Then it becomes a trend. It makes repeated pattern. So when it goes up like that, it's just like when the ocean flows towards you. But you have to stay back and look at the force. Where's the stronger force? Where's the predominant force heading? Is it going up or is it going down? So once you understand that, it doesn't matter the time frame. The time frame will only help you to capitalize on that trend. So for example, if it's an uptrend, then you can go to a very smaller time frame and jump in and ride that uptrend. Or if you want to do something on contrary. So that's the look at it. So trend is not something you can easily answer with you get what I'm saying. So it takes a whole lot of analysis. Yeah. A whole lot of analysis.
So it's not simple. It's not usually simple to express. But I think a lot of people are favored, for instance, analyzing the trend through a number of different views. One very popular view is to do what is called top-down analysis, which basically checking the main current and going closer. I think a number of traders have even learned about the concept of top-down analysis, but they still find it difficult to implement. So traders, for instance, are asking at what point is it the higher time frame if I'm doing a top-down analysis that I put my stop loss, or the lower time frame, and a number of questions around that.
Dave, do you know why I don't usually fall into the temptation of answering some of those questions?
Yeah.
Because traders want, most traders, not now, let's not generalize. There are traders who know what they're doing, but most people, especially those people who are coming into trading newly, they have this they have this kind of questions that they ask, and if you're not careful, you will give them an answer, and that answer will exactly that answer might not be appropriate
because
in
of the fact that he has the answer is only correct to a certain degree.
Exactly.
Might not be properly captured in that context.
Yeah. So I'm very, very careful to help them. I'm very careful in answering some of those questions like that. Like take for example, let me just give an instance. I know that maybe you want to ask me this question later. GPUSD.
Yeah.
For those of them who know what GPUSD. GPUSD has been going on for almost like a year now or so.
Yeah.
I mean on daily chart or more. And then in recent time, I found myself going to H4, sometimes H1. And when I step down to H1, I'm not trading H1. In fact, I'm trading D1, but I go to H1. After I've seen the trend on D1, I've seen the trend on weekly and everything. I've known the trend, I've known the buyers, the primary flow. Now I step down to sometimes even M30. And what I'm looking for in M30 is just entry. And once I get the entry, I'm off M30. I'm back to my daily chart.
That's an interesting mode that I've also got a lot of experience playing around with. One of the questions that people often ask is, how does this influence how does taking your entry signals on the shorter time frame, if you are doing multiple time frame analysis, how does that sort of influence your results? What does that do? I have a couple of comments in my mind, but I just want to hear your thoughts. People ask that question. Yes, you say we should do top-down analysis, which is beautiful. We begin from the higher time frame. Some people struggle with that. That in itself is a level of a challenge that I think that any trader who struggles with that should at least have moved past. But the
Yeah,
question is
true.
now, what entry is it on the when now that I'm trying to enter, which is preferable to enter directly from the higher time frames, even though you have considered the shorter ones, or to make your entry strategies around the shorter one? So many people ask that, and you've mentioned that you have a preference for that as well. What would you say
Yeah.
would be maybe the reasons why that's a little bit more enjoyable or more preferred for you than taking the entries from a different time frame, from like the higher time frame?
Yeah, I I I I was doing that example I gave. I was doing that recently, and the last 4 weeks I've been I just found myself doing that in the last 4 weeks. That I haven't known the trend of the daily chart. I'm
Yeah.
taking my trade off the smaller chart rather than going to take daily charts to take my trade. I'm going to the smaller chart to take my unlike me.
Yeah.
So and and in a week, most times in a week I just have like maybe two trades or even one in a week
Yeah.
on that same pair, GBP USD. And for the past 4 weeks, I've been doing I've been churning out something like between 150 pips to about 300 pips every week. And I was doing the same repeated pattern. Go down to M30. I already have an idea of
The
what's
bigger
happening
trend.
on the daily chart. Yeah. So all I'm just picking is entry from here, and then it gets to my exit. I'm picking again next week. It gets so I might not continue this pattern in the next 1 month. Why? Because the market might flow into another kind of a structure.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to explain, that ability to analyze the market is a skill. If they can write down these skills, 4 skills, I'm going to mention them again: research, market analysis, technical analysis, and probably risk management. These 4 areas are journeys. They are journeys you go into. The more you go into each of them, the better you get. The more you go into learning technical analysis, the better you get. The more you go into research, the wonderful you get. You will be a master of strategy. You will be turning out strategies like water. The more you go into market analysis, oh my God, you understand. In fact, you get to a point where you understand the correlation of assets. Like you see, when dollar index is going this way, GPUS is going this way, gold is going this way.
Yeah.
You're so used to, and
Yeah.
then you understand when the chart gets into a particular place, where there's sometimes when the chart gets into a particular phase, and I'm not trading that week, I'm not even trading that month if it doesn't leave that place. So this is market analysis that gives you the skill, and risk risk management. You see, Dave, let me share this with you, with anybody who is listening to me. No matter the strategy you develop, no matter the technical analysis if your knowledge of risk management is not sound, you will crash your account. If your knowledge of risk management is not sound, you will crash your account. Risk management itself is a strategy. Do you know that, Dave? I'll tell you something now. They say 90% of traders lose their money in their account, lose all their money. Have you heard that statistic before?
Yeah. It's very
90 or
popular.
90,
Yeah.
popular, right? Good. Thank God. I just asked because I know it's popular, though. I asked 90 or 99% of them, or 95% of them, whatever the number, lose their accounts, not lose trades. That statement is not lose trades, because everybody, 100% of us lose trades.
Yeah.
But 90% destroy their whole account. So maybe they deposit $100, they would finish the whole $100 to go. But do you know a simple mathematical formula, a simple maths that we learned in, I think we learned it in primary school. A simple math we learned in primary school would save all of us from ever losing our account. A simple maths. That mathematics is called discounting. Is the inverse of compound interest. Discounting. It's in risk management. I found that in risk management, and I teach people in 5 minutes. And after that, you would never ever. I don't make promises in trading. I don't make promises when I'm teaching people. I don't make promises. I don't usually tell people, you will do that. But there's only in an area that I make this promise in risk management. If your problem is that you lose your account every time, a simple maths that you will learn will change it. And that you can learn that thing in 5 minutes. If you want me to share it, I can share it. But you can learn that thing in 5 minutes, and you will never ever have that testimony again. This thing is knowledge. I'm telling you, you see that's what they say. Knowledge, application of knowledge is power. I've never seen where it is truer than in trading. If you don't know, you don't know. It's not going to jump into your head. It's not going to jump. You will be there. You'll be bragging that you have been trading for 25 years, but there's nothing to show for it. It's knowledge. If you don't know it, you don't know it. You can be doing years of research. Maybe you'll get in touch. You'll find it out someday.
Wow, super interesting. So I mean, this means that more than anything else, what traders should be interested in doing, what they should be looking to do, is to attract as much knowledge as they possibly can.
Traders, Dave, please let me say this. Sorry, pardon me. Traders should be the number one devourer of knowledge. There should not be any profession in the world that is hungry for knowledge as much as traders. There should not be. A trader has to be learning something every month. Every month, a trader has to be learning something, reading a new book, learning a new course every month. We see the reverse. We see the opposite of what we are seeing in the industry. Opposite. What the guy learned 5 years ago is the same strategy. He will dust his book. It's the same strategy he wants to be using now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I registered for a course recently. I'm telling you this between you and I. I registered for a course recently. This January. I paid $5,000 for that course. It's just less than 8 classes. $5,000. 8 classes. I'm a professional trader. I still take courses in trading. It's an area of algorithmic trading. I still take courses in trading. I'm doing an MBA in finance and investment. I'm paying over $15,000 per annum on tuition. Look, the level that I am in trading, people say, Mr. Conrad, how can I get to where you are? And I'm like, look, you gotta read. You see this thing? It doesn't just end in showing us charts and pointing indicators, and when it crosses, it goes up. If that's what you want, you're not gonna go far. Go and see our pedigree. Go and see our ancestors. Go and see our grandfathers. George Soros, Tecton. I mean, what's the Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio. Go and see these guys. These guys, they are the custodian of knowledge. So how do you want to attain that level of success with that small thing that you read, you watch on YouTube? How? Without 1 minute, 1 hour video you watch on, or that 5-hour video you just downloaded. How? Just tell me how you want to compete and be the best in that thing you're doing. So that's the point. And I see that a lot. When you tell traders that, look, there's a training program. I know you have a training program, Dave.
Yeah.
I've gone through the modules. The value of your training program is worth more than $10,000. When I saw it, I'm like, wow, the value of a training program is more than $10,000.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
I'm sure you give it out for like, I don't know, the amount you give it for.
It's interesting that the program, our mentorship program that runs for 7 weeks, and the curriculum.
7 weeks. Wow.
Yeah, 7 weeks. It runs for 7 weeks. That's the mentorship program. The curriculum, we will leave the curriculum here. We will leave it here, but it's very expansive, and for most people who are within our community, they'll get it on the full curriculum, so they understand. There's a whole lot in there. There's so much in there. I mean, I'm thankful for what you've shared. So much that I think so many of our, you know, it's like you mentioned, significantly underpriced, but it's the reality, and we've spoken about that reality before, of the environment we're in, of the fact that the average disposable income of people, most people who need the knowledge the most, because the knowledge is going to help them scale to the next level in their enterprise.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree. Dave, I'm going to disagree with you on this. No, I don't agree. No. I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't agree on this. No, I don't. I do not agree.
Some people think the sacrifice.
Dave, it's about perspective. Trust me. I'm a Nigerian. I grew up in Nigeria. I grew up in Agege. I grew up in the poorest region in Lagos State. In fact, some of the traders, they are richer than when I started trading. I grew up. I was sponsored in school by my uncle. Even my dad didn't even have the funds. So I'm not trying to say this because of trying to make people feel bad. No, I'm letting them understand that it's the same industry, it is the same place that I grew in, it's the same country, it's the same place. And I can tell you that it's about perspective. If people believe that they need knowledge as much as they need air to breathe in, they need air to breathe in air. If they know that they need knowledge as much as they breathe in air, they will get the knowledge. But like they say, if you want to hide anything from a black man, put it in the book. So it's a perspective that needs to be changed. It's a perspective that needs to be changed. I was sharing with someone yesterday. I said the system in the UK, because I was privileged to school in the UK. When I left the country, I went to the UK. I had a master's program. Now, when I got to the UK, the professor told us in class, he said, all of you coming from third world countries or countries that are not the UK, you're going to have to change how you read. Because, for example, I'm from Kenya. The lady telling us is from Kenya. I say, I'm from Kenya. And then we just write exams and we pass and we move on. Say, but in the UK, they don't even look at the exams you're writing, especially in the master's program. You're going to do research. And I was surprised when they said, look at timetable and we only have classes twice in a week. I'm like, what are we going to be doing for the rest of the week? They say research. I'm like, research? So when I a lot of Nigerians flunked out of school in the UK. I'm telling you about not what I heard, my school.
Yeah.
They struggled. For the first 1 month, they struggled seriously. But because I've taken courses online before, even when I was in Nigeria, I've taken courses from schools in the UK before, so I understood a little of the UK standard. So when I was in the UK, I could easily adapt to the research-based mindset. And maybe that was what really helped me, to adapt quickly. And I was able to assist some of my friends in the before they caught up with ability to research and do more. And I left the UK again, not long after I finished. I moved to the US again for another program. When I got to the UK, the same thing, they did their research. The professor said, for those of you who are not from America, you have to learn how to learn differently. In America, this is so we have to learn again. So the point I'm saying is that in every of these countries, they put learning. They have a way they learn, and then they based on what they value, they have a way they learn, and they put learning at the forefront of whatever thing they are going to do. But I see a different thing in Africa. I see a different thing in Nigeria, where I came from, where learning is put behind. So if someone is coming to learn how to, if someone's coming to want to learn how to trade, and you tell the person, he says, can't I just have like a 1 week training program where you just teach me everything I need to? Somebody says he wants to come and learn forex in 3 days. He will just drive to my town and he will lodge in a hotel 3 days. I laughed. I was just laughing. I said, you just lodge in a hotel 3 days and then we'll learn forex and then you'll go back. So you will fail if you try that, But we have to change the narrative. We have to begin to tell our people that, look, there's no sustainable success without knowledge. You can't get it. Let's even thank God that we have people like you, your company that is coming out to say, okay, let us fill in the gap. Let us teach people how to learn, how to approach this. Okay, and people usually have a problem. I know we did an advert one time on Facebook, and somebody wrote on the advert. I was just laughing. Somebody wrote on there. He said, most of these training programs is when they don't succeed in trading, they will now come and be teaching you how to trade. And my guys wanted to delete it. I said, don't delete. My team members wanted to delete that advert, that comment. I said, don't delete it. Leave it there. Let the people they will discourage. Let them be discouraged. People that will read that and get discouraged, let them be discouraged. I think it should be a honor. I think it should be something we should be applauded of. That somebody comes out and say, I want to teach you. I want to teach you. I want to teach you, even if I have rubbish in my head. I want to teach you that rubbish. Then you can pick that rubbish from where I stopped, and then you can add to it. But that you don't have that content, it's going to be difficult for you. So the point I'm making is that we have to start appreciating people who people who bring out platforms and themselves to, like this last apprenticeship program we just had. We have a program called apprenticeship program. This last apprenticeship program we just had. I mean, not even all of the apprenticeship program we've had. You have to pass a course. You will pay for the training apprenticeship program. You will pay. But you have to pass a course to enter the apprenticeship program. You have to pass the foundation course. You have to pass it. It's not that I have money. No. You have to pass it. There's a test, there's an exam, and you will still pay after it to join the apprenticeship, the next class. But you will pass it. And recently, I mean, two students did not pass it. We just started the one on Saturday. 2 students didn't pass it. My team members they've already collected money from them. They have to return back the money. They say, Conrad must not hear this one. You cannot get on that program. You have to pass the foundation with up to 75% pass mark. So we are coming with that. If they come with that mindset of they are training to collect money, we are now coming with the fact that you have to even pass what we are even delivering before you can even go to the next one. Are you getting what I'm saying, David? So, and then people see testimonials. People are learning and testimony. I mean, they are trading histories. I mean, that they're bringing up wonderful testimonials. So I would want people to have especially Africans, to have an appreciative heart for those who want to teach them, who want to help them to learn. Those days when I was in Nigeria, when I was even working with Forest Time, I used to tell my students some things. I said, I'm this kind of a guy that if you're my student and then you share an idea with me, and I know that idea you shared with me has solved the problem in my head. It has solved the problem for me. I did it for one. I did it once. I did it to someone one day. The guy shared a strategy with me. He came to my office, we were talking, and he shared something with me, and I'm like, wow, I love this thing you just shared. I loved it. And I brought out my checkbook, and I wrote a check, 70,000 naira. I gave to the guy. The guy said, wait, for what? I said, this thing you gave me now, it has solved an age-long problem in my mind right now. So I appreciate knowledge. I appreciate knowledge. So that's what if you want to learn how to trade, if you want to get into this, go and ask everybody who has gotten to that level of success. They paid for the knowledge. The knowledge is not free. It's not on Facebook. It's not on YouTube. It's something that you have to be able to pay for. and appreciate. And you have to see it as an investment, just like you see your school that never contributed anything to your life. You know, you went to primary school, secondary school, university, spent all that and millions of naira you spent, went to serve the government for many years. With all that, you spent money. Why? Because you believe that you will need that school. You get what I'm saying? So it's about perspective. If we could, some of us went to private universities and then we paid almost like $500,000 per year for 4 years.
Yeah.
That's 2 million. So with that knowledge, they didn't do anything with it. It's about perspective. So if we can change our perspective in Nigeria, in Africa, I think we'll start seeing results. We start seeing results, and I'm trying to encourage what you're doing. I'm trying to like use this also to encourage what you're doing, and to let you understand that no matter what, you just know that there are some traders who love what you're doing and who would
Okay.
some of them appreciate it. Not everybody, you know. So you have to keep
We
keep it up.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, thank you so much. So, first of all, for you to continue to follow Mr. Conrad, please go to the website Forex Maestros. Forex Maestros runs training programs as well, the apprenticeship programs. You can find out all the information on forexmaestros.com and meet Mr. Conrad on Facebook. Mr. Conrad, what's your Instagram handle? Let's just start
I'm with you.
What's your Instagram handle?
Conrad Okongwu. Okongwu is Conrad is CONRAD. Okongwu is OKON GWU. Conrad Okongwu.
GWU. So this is on Instagram, right?
Instagram, LinkedIn, same thing. Conrad Okongwu. Facebook, right. Conrad Okongwu. And if you want to get some of my maybe videos and all that, if you just go to Google, I'm a public figure, so if you just go to Google and type Conrad Okongwu, you will see enough. You will see different links to different things.
So wonderful. Okay, so first of all, on behalf of the community, it's been an exciting time hanging with you.
Thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure to just engage with you, to chat. We always have all those chats, and we've been having it for many years. So it's just beautiful that we can even in this community of ours invite you. I'm sure that in subsequent times as well, subsequent sessions of the Traders Hangout, you'd come back and maybe we'll be able to touch on a few things that we were not successful at touching on in this particular session. So somebody is asking, please share the discounting formula for risk management.
Okay.
I don't know. If it's something that will take maybe a minute or two, we might risk it. But we are already, I don't know, we're already
Okay. All right, no problem. So what do you want to do? Should I go ahead?
Okay. Because of time, if we can have an abridged version of it, and then have opportunities for subsequent communications with it. I think that
I would say that this platform we're using, it's I would need a teaching platform. I would need maybe you can invite me on subsequent program where I can teach.
Okay.
Where I can share a whiteboard and maybe share a chart or something. More. This is a relaxing hangout. So it's just for us to rub minds. But you can invite me. You can intimate me on a future date where I can actually deliver some training.
So I have a lot of people say, Mr. Chidi, first of all, let's have those comments of thanks. Mr. Chidi, Mr. Conrad, everything you say all the time gets me so inspiring.
Wow.
So you have Mrs. Chidi says, yes, please share. So what we will do for the community, for the Swably Markets community, is just as Conrad has mentioned about, sort of like setting up in a different sort of more teaching platform. Then we can organize that. But and I'm sure that Conrad his doors are always open to us. We appreciate that. We can arrange something in time. So I'm
don't worry. As long as they are part of your hangout, I'm open to help. anytime. Just call on me. As long as they're part of your hangout, anything for you, Dave.
Wow,
Don't worry.
wow, lovely, lovely. And we shared such a huge passion about both the markets and about using the information that we have through the financial markets to empower other people to spread some of the opportunities that we've enjoyed. That's
Someone
the
is
vision.
saying the RTC of Mr. David is rich. I'm a living
Okay.
testimony. Kudos to you, sir. Wow, that's
Thank you
great.
so Thank you so much, Mr. Clement. I appreciate it. So, for those who want to find out about some of our courses at Swably Markets, Mr. Conrad explained to us, about how it is important for us to prioritize learning.
Yeah,
I certainly agree. And one of the challenges he's mentioned is that we don't have enough appreciation for knowledge. And it's rather sad. It's always the reason why people tend to fail at the end of the day. So what we have are these platforms that we've shared with you, both on the Swably Markets platform and on Ms. Conrad's educational platforms, is just trying to give back to the community in terms of the knowledge that we've been able to get
yeah,
in trading and
yeah,
all the opportunities that knowledge can provide.
yeah.
So to everyone, please, thank you so much. It was wonderful having you all here. We still, even to the very end,
Wow,
we
that's
still
good.
do have over 40 people. It's amazing. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking our time. Please be on the lookout for subsequent episodes. I'm sure that one of those episodes very soon will have Mr. Conrad here, slightly different. But if you're within our Telegram community, you continue to get updates relating to future hangouts and other programs at Swavely. If you want to learn more about our professional trading program, you can visit swablymarkets.com/mentorship or call the number below. You can write it down or just email us at info@swablymarkets.com. We will be very excited to get back to you. Once again, please, if you want to follow Mr. Conrad, I'm going to put up his handles again. So this is the Instagram handle, Conrad Okongwu on Instagram.
Yeah.
And let me put up on Facebook. So you can follow Forex Messages. Go to forexmessages.com to find out everything about the training programs at Forex Messages. Then follow Mr. Conrad personally. That's on Facebook and also on Instagram and LinkedIn using the name Conrad Okongwu. Okay, so we've come to the final end of another episode of Traders Hangout. We've had Mr. Conrad here with us. We really appreciate it. And from my side,
I need to come back for this hangout. I think I need to come
absolutely,
back for this
absolutely,
hangout.
absolutely, we're absolutely looking forward. And I know the community appreciates it. The community appreciates it.
It's a pleasure.
Guys,
It's a
show some
pleasure.
love. Show some love to Mr. Conrad. I can see you, Chine. Thank you so much for this. I've learned a lot. Uh, Thank you so much, Mr. Conrad. You have given me a new perspective to trading. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's
So,
good.
Mr. Rotimi, look at this. Thank you, guys. Okay, Mr. Charles, this is many thanks to Mr. Dave and Mr. Conrad. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. And from our side here, on behalf of the Swably Markets team, on behalf of Joshua, Jerry, the program managers, James, and all the people that put together this program, we say thank you. Until the next session of the Traders Hangout, bye from our side. Thank you so much, Conrad.
Take
Thanks a
care.
lot.
All right. Bye.